we jumped into Normandy. My battalion's objective was St. Eglise. I landed, most of my plane load landed just about at the edge of the town. I don't know how far from the church, but we could see it in the dark and saw flashes of guns and so forth. We pulled back to regroup, but not back, but away, and got a group together, and then by a circular route, I think we had lost a little bit. The hedgerows were massive, and we were fired upon by German light machine guns along the way. Here and there, it wasn't heavy. And we got into the town, and we held up we got into the town itself right behind the church. We held up, and Leonard and I, my co-machine gunner, were told to go into this park, and we knew it from the aerial photographs to be the aerial photographs. They call it the German motor pool, and we went in there and put a machine gun down and covered the park. It's now the Airborne Museum area, but that time it was just a big field, and then, as it has been described, I looked up and I saw a pair of boots about, I don't know, I had a good note on that. I saw a pair of boots hanging, swaying, and it was a guy, a jumper hanging there. He'd been killed in a tree, and I guess it was about 10 feet above my head, and I looked up and I couldn't see his face because his helmet was down. His hands looked awful big, and I remember that. And then 40 years later, I remember that guy, I was told that guy by an analyst or something, he was Bill Buchter from the 506, which I had served in for 8 months, and I knew him. Then we saw some Germans, probably two to 250 yards, running across the further end of the field. So we fired several bursts there, and don't know if we hit anybody, but they disappeared. And then we got up and we were told to cross in front of the church, or somebody led us, and we ran like hell from the gateway to the museum at an angle so that we went by the side door of the church rather close. And then the front door was around the corner, and there were trees there, right? Very beautiful trees. I remember that. And I remember the Roman marker there. I don't know why, but I remembered it when I came back there. I knew I remembered it. It was not far from the side door of the church, and there was a dead German there. He had an immaculate uniform on, as I mentioned, and then there was an empty parachute there. And there were parachutes dangling all over the roofs, including, I believe, the pharmacy Renault, as I found the location later. And we gathered at the corner below the church, and got news that Major Krause at that time was in the town hall with his feet on the desk, and our flag was flying overhead.